Evanna McCutcheon may be a new name to the Irish training ranks, but there is no questioning her racing pedigree. Already a successful amateur jockey and from a family with a strong background in breeding, she is now making waves as a trainer, with 15 or so horses under her care, headed by Group 1 winning sprinter Marek. Evanna, if we can start by just telling us a little bit about yourself and how you got involved in racing. You've been in racing pretty much all your life, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been racing all my life. My dad breeds. He's a breeder, Kingsgate native, so he's started with the sprinters. And when I finished school, I was apprenticed to Tom Hogan for a couple of years, dabbling in that. Then I did a bit of travelling, worked in Tommy Stacks, and then the last couple of years I've been involved in Marek, and now I've just gone out on my own. So.
But you ride away, you ride as an amateur rider as well? I
do a bit of riding as amateur, riding a few point of points and ladies races. I was fortunate enough to go to Oman in January, where I rode a winner in an Arab racing series, where I qualified to ride in November in Abu Dhabi now from that. So dabble away in that, it's fun, it's great opportunities to get, and the point of pointing is the true love.
Is it, yeah?
Yeah.
What is it about point of pointing that you love?
Well, I'm fortunate enough. I've been lucky enough to ride some nice horses in point of points, and riding a nice horse over a fence over 3 miles and finishing in front is a great buzz to it. It's good camaraderie with the lads, and it's just the grassroots of racing really. So I really enjoy it.
And how many winners have you ridden in point of points?
I've ridden about 17 or 18, I think. So nearly lost my claim, which won't be that convenient. Another £5 to carry for the 4 horses, but to have ridden that many winners, I never thought when I started out I'd have had that many chances, so things have gone my way. It's been great fun.
And you ride away in amateur races on the track as well, don't you?
Yep, I take what I can get. I go where I get asked to go. Some trainers have been putting me up, and it's great to get those chances. So I just go where I'm asked to go. Have saddle, we'll travel.
And do you get involved in the breeding side as well with your dad?
The breeding side is his. When I can put a saddle on them, I take them on. I'll be up and down checking them out, all right, but that's his speciality, and he's very good at what he does, so I leave that end up to him, and when he sends them down here, I do my best, do what I can do with them and try and get the best out of them that end. Your dad, he sends you down a couple of horses? He sends a couple down every year, yeah. The stud farm like to keep a few in training, and the fillies, try and get some form for them and the pedigrees and improve their value, be it get some form and sell them on, or get the form and then breed from them in the long run.
And is that the way it kind of works, that you hang on to the fillies and train them and then try and keep them for breeding, and then the geldings train for a little bit and then go to the sales?
Exactly, it's everything is for sale at a price. The fillies, it's the breeding operation is long run, be them sell them on as brood mares or run them to get form for their family at home, but everything is it's a selling operation, so it's trying to keep them moving through. There's no one allowed to hang around for too long.
Except for Marek, he's allowed to stick around.
Oh, he tried to sell him too. Thank God he didn't.
And when you were a kid growing up, was it the riding or the training or the breeding end of it that interested you most?
The riding was, I loved the riding. If I could go fast and jump, that kept me happy. I wasn't too fond of dressage and show jumping and that, but I had some cracking little ponies going up. I used to be pretty good at hurtling around the countryside, and the breeding operation was always there, and I had my interest in it. The training, I wouldn't say it was a long-term aim as such, because you need things to fall your way. You can't just get up in the morning and say you want to be a trainer. It's not that easy, but I gained some good experience in yards all over England, Ireland, America, Australia, and things found my way, and time came to take out my licence, and so I have. So.
And which yards stood out for you in terms of the amount that you learned there?
I'd like to say I learned something in every yard I've ever set foot on. I think you just have to pick up little things everywhere. Fozzie Stack was great for me. Tom Hogan was great. I started there, and I was with Gabe Waterhouse in Australia, and I was in the fairgrounds in America with a few different trainers. So I'd like to say I think I learned something from every yard, and hopefully I'll continue to do so as I'm going.
And are they very different? Let's say Gabe Waterhouse versus America versus Britain versus here?
Yeah, they're all, the America and Australia is training on the track and timing and than in England and Ireland. There's more isolated yards and more focused on different training systems, and you can adapt more maybe in England and Ireland, but it's all, everyone has their way of doing it, and a lot of the people I've worked for are very good at what they do, so I think hopefully I'll learn something from them all, and I can bring it all together here and try and be able to compete with them.
Yeah. And when you were there, were you thinking, that's interesting that they do it this way, and maybe I'll keep that in the back of my head for the future?
Yeah, exactly. And you'd see little things, you'd see something, maybe I'd like to do that slightly differently, or just gain little things from everywhere and try and I focus here on very individualised for every horse. I try and make sure every horse does what they need to do, and that's why a small yard, it's easier to do that. It's not as easy to do that in a very big yard, and it's obviously it's not possible, but they still produce the results. So it's trying to do everything to a big yard standard, but in a small yard scale. That's what I'm trying to get across here.
How many horses do you have in training at the moment?
I've about 15 riding out. I've a cracking bunch of 2-year-olds. It was great to see our first runner last week run. We weren't very happy with the way he ran, so we look forward to running them. I have a few for sale. I try and move on there'll be horse going to the sales, and just try and bring in new owners into the yard and keep everything moving, get horses to perform the best they can, and try and get winners on the board, really. And
is it mainly the flat on which you're focused now, or is it both?
I'd probably be 3/4 flat, what's there at the moment. I'd love to take whatever, I'll train whatever I'm asked to train. I love to have a few jumpers. I have the 2-pointed pointers, they ran well all year, and I have a few hurdlers out there as well, so mixed bunch. I try and get the best out of everything that's there and try and find races at whatever level for every horse that's there. That's the target for the yard, and that's the kind of ethos here and the aims here. Trying to get everything to perform to the best of their ability at whatever level.
And is it difficult to get new owners into the yard?
It's always, in this climate, it's not easy. Everyone's watching where everything is going these days. You have to be performing at the top of your game. You have to be doing everything absolutely spot on, so people know they're going to get value for money, and they know they're going to get treated as best possible, and the horse is going to be no time wasting, and that's what I focus on here. I don't want to waste anyone's time. If I don't think there's a job for a horse, I'll tell the owner. I think it's fair to everyone else, treat everyone fairly, and I hope they treat me the same way, and hopefully get the end result to be the right one for everyone. I got asked last week, are you mad doing this? But I've been handed the cards that I've been handed, and do what I can with them and do my best by it. Hopefully it'll work.
And was it a lengthy process actually to get your licence?
Yeah, it takes, there's courses, you have to do portfolio, go to the race course, and then inspections here, interviews. It's interesting to do it all, and it's no harm that they don't just hand you out a licence now, that you do have to do some of this, because it raises the bar as well for everyone. Everyone has to make sure they're doing everything as best, the highest level, and there's none of this, no messing about.
By the way, you
have to multitask here.
Russell cattle and well done, good team.
Did you find it beneficial to actually do the training course to get your licence?
Yeah, we'd great help in the business end of it, which is vital these days, and the IT and marketing and interviews, and they bring in all that, and then some physiology and exercise physiology, nutrition. I think trainers before might not have had the access to those kind of that information, which all that kind of stuff helps now. You need to be on have tabs on it all. You have to focus on everything. Like now, you can't just gallop him.
Yeah, and on Marek, like you've had him pretty much since 2010.
Yeah, he came from Doncaster Sales as a 3-year-old, full horse. We gathered him, bought him initially. We thought he might be something I could ride in bumpers, but turned out he wasn't. A bit fast in that now. Not that he showed it at home really that much, but he still doesn't. We realised he wasn't probably going to get 2 miles and brought him back and got him handicapped. He won a few handicaps. We thought, hey, nice horse, lucky that nice horse to have. And thought about listed races, and we said no, stay to handicaps as long as we could. But then when you get to the rate of 105, 110, you have to take the next step. And he's continued to improve and perform, and got to the Group 1 last October. So he's been a great horse. We've had great fun with him, and the owners, the yard, the team, everyone involved with him he's been a great horse to follow.
And it's a syndicate that owns him, your family syndicate?
A family-based syndicate that owns him, yeah. But I think the amount of followers he has now at this stage, if they were all to look for owners fast, they try to complain. But he's got lots and lots of followers, lots of friends, and so he's a good gang behind him.
At what point did you think that, first of all, that he was a sprinter, that he was going to be a sprinter?
Well, we thought he wasn't maybe going to get further in a mile. Shamie Heffernan rode him one day, and he said he's like probably not going to stay that far. But still, it was after he was handicapped, his third run to be handicapped in the Curragh, he ran a good race. He finished 6th to Sing Softly, who was actually favourite for the Guineas that year, I think. And we kind of went, he's not completely useless. He's not going to be rated 45. And he had a run in Limerick, and he didn't quite see out the 7, I think. And then he went to Navan, and he won his first race over 6 there, and it's a stiff 6, and we tried again over 7 once or twice, but he doesn't quite see out the 7. So then we just kept him back to the 6, and then dabbled at 5 as well, and so he's proved quite versatile over 5 and 6 now.
And has he continued to surprise you as he's kept on improving?
Yeah, every time he runs, York was a fantastic performance by him. It was a very classy performance by him. Not saying it surprised us as such, but we did think he'd improved over the winter again. He got leaving a fraction stronger, and he proved it on the track. He'll never show you anything at home. You couldn't work him at home and find out anything. But when he goes out on the track, that's where it matters, and he pulls out all the stops, and look, very good horse.
Yeah, like we saw him there earlier. He just seems to take everything in his stride here.
Oh, he just focuses on enjoying life, and he chills out. Take him swimming quite a lot, because if we just canter around the gallop every day, he'd get very bored and lazy and whatever, and he loves the swimming, so we do a lot of swimming down locally in Matty Tynan's pool. We have the use of that, which is great, and we do go up to the Curragh if there's a shortage of rain towards the end of the summer. Use the Curragh pool up there as well. So he just chills out, and keep him happy. That's the secret to Marek, really.
And do you think that contributes to his longevity? Like, he's on the go for a long while now.
Yeah, because you can load him up in the box, and it doesn't matter if he's in York or Longchamp or Newmarket or wherever, or Tipperary, the Curragh. He goes into his stable and he eats his food, and he doesn't get stressed, so he doesn't lose anything. He doesn't put anything into. He doesn't focus on anything stressful. He doesn't get stressed. He just chills out, and so he's not under pressure at all. And
he doesn't mind travelling, going into the horse box and travelling abroad or travelling.
No, he doesn't Ireland. At all. He does like to damage the horse box, but that's not through any stress. That's just throwing his weight around and making sure I know he's a superstar and don't mess with him and keep looking after him. Massage his ego, and he loves travelling. You bring him anywhere. And we kept him in Newmarket for a week 1 year before a run, just because we had to be over there for the week, and he still ran a blinder. He's chilled out.
And you travel with him, don't you? You travel in the box with him.
Yeah, I do the driving. Yeah, I think if you were to put him on a transporter now, they'd probably double the fee because he'd wreck the place. But I'm so used to him now. It's grand. Get me out of the yard. The lads keep the show on the road when I'm gone, so I'm lucky. Have a good team behind me to do that, so I disappear off with him.
And do you think he appreciates that you're there?
Oh yeah, I think he does, because I do massage his ego a little bit, and he is a little bit spoilt, and if someone was to give out to him, he might not be too happy. So yeah, I don't think he'd be too worried about it, but I think he enjoys messing with me and bullying me, and I just let him. So.
And is there a real like bond or of affection there between you and Marek then, do you think?
Well, when you have a horse like that who's taken you to places he's taken you, and I mean, you can only love him. You'd be a fool not to. He's a great horse to have. He's a character, and he keeps me on my toes as well. So yeah, he's never gonna be a sucky pony and kind of he'd be likely to nip you or throw a shoulder at you or throw a front one at you, but he's only messing. He's only just enjoying himself.
And like this year, he seems to be as good as ever. And this is the first year that, while you've been involved with him all his life, this is the first year that you're actually down in the trailers column as his trainer.
Yeah, I've been involved with him. It's always a team effort. With any yard, any horse, you're only as good as the team behind you. I've got a great team behind me here, and so
all set for the Group 1 Prix de la Baille, and they are off and racing. Away they go. On the near side, coming out well was Joala. Also on the near side, Hams has got a decent pitch. Right out in the centre, the dark green is Justineo, and Stepper Point has also come through. So on the near side, it's probably just been picked up now by Spirit Chords, with Stepper Point on the far side, Joala, Justineo between horses, Reckless Abandon's right up there, Hamza on the near side, Ladies of Forever and Dutch Masterpiece follow those ones, with Tickle Pink in centre group. Soul Power's beginning to get into it as they move down to the 400. It's the Black Jacket of Spirit Chords being taken on by Joala, Hamza on the near side, Justineo on the far side, travelling strongly, Cat Call, the red sleeves behind those, who's absolutely hacking Cat Call as they go down to the 200, and Joala has the lead. Now Cat Call comes through to challenge, and on the near side it's Cat Call for Xavier Bertrand. Marek finishing well, Cat Call being pressed by Marek on the outside. Cat Call and Marek in a thrust of the line. Marek's getting the upper hand and goes on to win it. Marek and Cat Call possibly in a photo, but I think Marek's probably just grabbed Cat Call. It was close between the two. Marek near side, Cat Call far side. And the verdict goes to Marek from Cat Call second.
Last year on the Abbey, was that just a brilliant day and a brilliant achievement for you and for Marek?
Yeah, I do think in the long term, I think I will only appreciate what it was all like when it's all over, because he's just been consistently so fantastic. And then the Labbe, and that was a dream come true. But we loaded up and we came home and got back into Larry's. It's almost routine at this stage, but I know it's just an amazing achievement for the horse and for the yard, and to be on that stage on those best days, we're so privileged to be there. But I think I will only really, when I look back on it then in years to come, and then I'll really appreciate for what we've done.
And why was he so good that day, do you think?
He's always a good horse, and on his day, with his conditions and the race is right, he is superstar. He's a Group 1 winner. He's a class horse. The race was round to suit him, conditions were right, and he proved it. And
yet you probably didn't take the time to celebrate it. You were back in the horse box and back here straight away, weren't you?
Oh, we did. Oh, we had a little celebration. We loaded up about 11 o'clock that night. So we had a few. The race was about midday, so we could have a few glasses of champagne, and the idea was go and lie down and have a nap, but now it's not really between the phone and if you're sitting there kind of buzzing, and we had a chill out, travelled home, came back here, and there was 40, 50, 60 people in the yard to celebrate. So that went on then through that night.
And was that like, did you want to just come home because that's what was best for Marek?
Yeah, that's what we did. Try and get him home. Get him home, he can go out the field here, properly relax. You can leave him, yes, he'll go out for a pick of grass wherever he is and he'll enjoy that, but you can leave him properly wind down back at home, and give him a little break after the race and get him home as soon as possible, and focus on looking forward then from there. Aim for your next target.
And was there ever a chance that he would go international then in the winter?
Up until now, we have steered away from it, because while he now is going on better ground internationally, you're talking genuine quick ground, which wouldn't be ideal for him. And we said we'd focus on the targets at home where we know he'd be unsafe, good cutting the ground. We can make decisions. It's a long way to go to be iffy about it. And he's been having such long seasons. He's running from March through to October, November. It's nice to give him a little break and then try and have him out for the next season and there's lots of targets in England and Ireland, more so England obviously, and then France. So we wouldn't rule out travelling, but haven't done it yet.
You won't be driving the horsebacks to Hong Kong?
No, I don't think I can manage that one. If I could, I probably would try. But
And then this year, he's improved nicely, and then he put in a really good performance at York.
They're off in the Duke of York Clipper Logistics Stakes. Mass Rally restrained, leaving the stalls in rear early. Movie Star with a white sleeves prominent, taking the trail early from Herat. A Stare on the right and a noseband up with the leaders. So too Eton Rifles. Body and Soul right onto the rail, showing good speed as they go to the end of a quarter mile, just ahead of Ladies Are Forever. Jack Dexter is on the extreme right, shadowing Marek. Then SK Love from Hawkeye, the new with a white cap. Mass Rally, Boomerang Bob and Tropics in rear as they move past halfway. Herat with a slender advantage from Astaire, Jack Dexter, Marek, Eton Rifles, the red and grey. Movie Star ridden along, so too Body and Soul. Ladies Are Forever switches to the fence. SK Love in a green jacket travels well, needs a bit of daylight as they come down past the two. Herat, Astaire, joined by Marek in a spotted jacket. Jack Dexter, Mass Rally with his swooping run on the far side. Eton Rifles down the near side. Astaire went to the front, passing the furlong from Marek. SK Love still a bit short of daylight in behind, and then Mass Rally. Marek now putting it up to Astaire, then SK Love and Mass Rally. Marek asserting near the line, Astaire pestering, but Marek defies his penalty and wins the Duke of York from Astaire. SK Love a little unlucky in the run in third, Mass Rally fourth, and they were clear.
he just took a few runs to get going again. Because he's such a lackadaisical workhorse at home, it's just hard to get him race 100%. It just took a couple of runs to wake him back up again and get him to swing things. But York was the one that mattered, and York was where he pulled it out and ran an absolute blinder and proved he was back to the top of his game again, and then ran a very good race in the Curragh afterwards, where the ground was just a little bit maybe too heavy for him. But he still ran a cracking race behind a very good horse.
It's interesting that you say the ground might have been too heavy for him. I mean, I would never have thought that it could be too heavy for Marek.
Well, this is just it. He's been running on nicer ground, and what soft in England would be ideal, perfect, lovely. In Ireland, it's just that little bit deeper and heavier, and so he's been just in Cork. We found as well that we got really stuck in it in the Curragh. He's got a Group 1 penalty now, so you just want everything 100% for him. He's won on very, very heavy ground before, but he wasn't penalised back then, and so now with that penalty and everything else, you just want everything 100%.
And he's obviously very good over both 5 and 6 furlongs. Do you have a preference? Do you think he's better over one of them?
Everyone is asking. Everyone asked that. Dad asked me. I asked Declan. Everyone. I think when the conditions are right, he's a very good horse on over either. Nice cut in the ground. He's a Group 1 5 furlong winner. Yet he's won more races over 6. So it's all down to the conditions and the race and the way the races ran for him.
And looking ahead, what kind of programme do you have in mind for him?
We'll just enter him in all the Group 1, 2 and 3 sprints, and he'll go wherever there's knees in the ground. He'll be in the non-torpees. He'll be in, hopefully for France to be the ultimate target at the end of the year again. We'll just try and keep him going, keep him fit and well and healthy, and be ready for when his conditions are right. We'll hopefully be ready for him. And
is a return visit to the Abbey, is that like very much to the forefront of your mind?
That would be, we'd love to go back there and hopefully put up another good performance again. It's probably the best race meeting of the year, that end of the year anyway. So that would be one of the major targets.
And do you have a plan or objectives of where you want to be or where you want to see the yard going?
I'd aim for maybe 20 to 30 horses max. I wouldn't like to go any above that. I think you'd lose the focus, the individual attention they get here, and just if I can attract new owners and get people in, hopefully get people into the game to enjoy it and not waste their time, get the best for their horses and make it a viable operation for everybody. I'm lucky to be doing what I'm doing, and hopefully I can get owners to enjoy it as much as I do.
And it appears you've a great team of people here, great staff.
I do have a fantastic team behind me. You couldn't do it without the brilliant team. It's not a one-person show. you need the people in the yard looking after the horses, riding the horses. When you're gone away, keeping the yard going, taking the runners racing, making sure everything is worked and looked after and fed. And it's a big, big team effort, and I have a very good team behind me. I'm very lucky to have them.